Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here on behalf of the International Writing Program to thank you all for all the incredible work you have done for the past few weeks. And a huge thanks to Beth, Bond, and the IT team at the Iowa City Public Library for hosting us every week. I also want to give a big shout out to the International Writing Program for keeping us motivated with weekly pizza, which might be the real reason for us to show up here every week, right, Tabish bhai? And of course, a special thanks to the delivery folks for being so prompt with our order. As you all know, this session is going to be a bit different. We are opening up the mic and inviting each of you to share something memorable from your time in Iowa City or the US. A moment, a feeling, observation, or experience that has stuck with you. You have all become celebrities here in Iowa City, so no need for lengthy introductions. Just come up, say your name, your country, and let us hear your thoughts. But before we open up the mic for you, I want to mention some of our upcoming events. Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. in Space Place Theater in North Hall, we will be hosting Emerge Moving Worlds in collaboration with the Department of Dance. Join us at Prairie Lights this Sunday at 4 p.m. to hear Iowa Writers Workshop MFA candidate Joshua Balshiki, Sbeen Javeri from Pakistan, and Okamata K from Japan. On Tuesday, November 5th at 5 p.m. at the Shamba House, we will be featuring the work of Anna Devachan from Armenia. Yeah. There will also be a Wednesday night reading at the Shamba House at 5:30 p.m. titled Anti-Love Poetry. On Thursday at 5 p.m. there will be a reading at the Shamba House featuring Nada Al-Turki from Saudi Arabia, Smith Likongwe from Malawi, and Natalie Yang from Taiwan. Rounding out the Shamba House reading series will be Guide to a Fall, a collaborative project by Felipe Franco Manhas from Brazil and Nada Al-Turki from Saudi Arabia that maps out Iowa City in words. So the podium is all yours now. Let's see who comes first. Thank you.
Right. When I was living, I am Smith Likongwe from Malawi. When I was living in Malawi, I was already aware that when we travel internationally on airports, I was already aware that we are all guilty until proven innocent. And so we have to be checked and whatever. Anyway, I arrived at Chicago after close to 20 hours of flight. And then we also had some 3, 4, 5 hours of waiting to catch the flight to here, to Cedar Rapids. And when the flight finally came, I was the first on the queue to get into because I was tired. Now, I had forgotten what was supposed to be done, and I was reminded. And this gentleman said, remove your shoes and everything, the belt, just remain with your shirt and the pants. As the Malayan said, pants. You know, momentarily I thought I was supposed to be naked because we Malawians use British English. And so pants mean you take off the trousers, boxer, and remain with underwear. So I thought, but quickly I remembered, this is America. When they say pants, they're talking of pair of trousers. So I obeyed. And then I arrived here. Upon arrival, the first thing I had to do was go to Target here so that I get something, a new SIM card to inform my people at home that I had arrived, because in case they hear of any other air crash, they will think I was in there. So I get there, I take what I was supposed to take, and usually in my country, when you go to pay, there is someone there. And then I arrived there, and there was no one. So I kept on moving, you know, where are they? Where are they? And finally, I asked somebody I thought you worked there. He just said, just go there. I said, no, look, there's no one. He said, no, self-checkout. I said, come. So he had to come, follow me, and assist me accordingly. And as I was staying here in the States, one of the things I observed was the people like their game so much. That's very, very positive. Whenever there's a game, they're here together. I am also an ardent follower of football, but the type of football I follow is the one where you use the foot to play the ball. Here, the football is different. They don't use the foot to play the ball. To cut a long story short, the stay here was very fruitful, having almost accomplished what I came here to do, and with a full skeleton of what I'm going to write, and looking at the peaceful environment, especially around this place, I go back home very happy. And as I finish, allow me to quote what Emperor Julius Caesar said in 47 BC, after the Battle of Zela, which is now Turkey. I came, I saw, I conquered. Thank you.
Kia ora koutou, tēnā koutou katoa, dagaho. My name is Chris Teese. I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand. I've written a poem for today, but before I do, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the IWP team and everyone here that we've come across in Iowa City who has shown us kindness and hospitality. It's really made our time here so much special. So this is a new poem. It's called Lines Composed Less Than a Mile from the Nearest Come and Go. 2 months have passed, and each time I see that suggestive sign, I think of impermanence, as well as faceless figures emerging from the shadows to entertain the kind of desire that makes thrill seekers of us all before disappearing and taking on new form. And so I find myself buying a souvenir at a gas station, just to remind me of my need to hold on to every place that offers up somewhere soft to land or a breeze to carry my breath back to those I've missed. Seasons, lovers, or inspiration, come what may, there is a reckoning with what the tides deposit on the shores of our dreams for us to collect like trinkets. Once, a pearl got caught in my throat, and all I could sing was songs about never seeing the cordial coastlines of my home again. I left the doors to the past and the future unlocked, in the hope that I would be visited by songs yet to be written. You see, I've been on Wellington time this whole time, so I know how this part of the story ends and what will greet me when I step across the threshold. Beauty can take the form of the memories and secrets that have passed through this concrete forecourt, lives lived through seasons that test the roles they're meant to play. Lovers and enemies alike grasp at the plausibility of fate to decide whether or not to pay mind to the return of the Machiavellian mastermind who doesn't need shadows to trick or treat. We know that there's more than two colors that can dictate whether we stay still or take a chance on change, more than two ways of looking at the same cloud in an ever-shifting sky. We all feel this in our blood. I've drawn a line between fluorescent lighting and photoperiodism to settle the ellipsis, so that I may swallow the pearl and sing of my own homecoming without forgetting where I've been or the landscapes that held my absence. Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning. I'm Yassin Adnan from Morocco. Dear Katarina, the WhatsApp group that you created for us on September the 10th to include the writers of the Fall 2024 IWP will be trusted to you. We want it to continue. It will certainly be impossible for us to communicate through the daily as we do now, to exchange news of our daily activities. news of the common room breakfast, when it surprises us, rarely though, with something other than eggs. Or plans for a night out, or if we are to be precise, plans for completing the soiree out here or there in the neighborhood warm boroughs. Sure, each of us will have returned to our normal lives, but we still need this group to exchange our literary news, each one's achievements, and especially our encounters here or there. In a year or two, I will be happy with a photo of Yu and Smith at a literary festival in Sweden, or a photo of me and one of you at the Marrakesh English Book Festival. It will be important for this WhatsApp group to continue. Hence, the spirit of Iowa will pulsate among us for a long period, perhaps for years. Who knows? We might one day be thrilled and truly proud to congratulate one of our own on a Nobel Prize. Our group includes talented writers who deserve the highest literary awards. Iowa is not just a city. It is a soul that flows gently through the folds. It is not the kind that you love at first sight. It's not a sweet, refreshing drink like lemonade. It's rather like tomato juice. It takes time. It takes time to savor it, but once you taste it, you love it. So it took me time to get used to this city. The day we returned from Chicago, I felt the first taste of familiarity and affinity. But after returning from my second trip to Illinois, and while I was in the taxi on my way back from the airport at sunset, a vague feeling of delicate melancholy overcame me. A warm, familiar sadness that I only feel when returning from an exciting trip to the monotony of life at home. It was then that I understood that I missed this place and that Iowa started to become, in a sense, a city of mine. I am also a person who is quickly bored with cities, and I do not hesitate to express my discontent with them. I wrote one book in love with my city, Marrakesh, in which I raised it to the level of a utopia. But the more I fell in love with it, the more I continued to be critical to it. Thus, I later wrote and edited 4 consecutive books about Marrakesh in which I criticized the city and monitored its dark sides and major imbalances before the latter turned into a dystopia in my last book. Perhaps this is my own way of loving cities and declaring my belonging to them. Whenever I find myself these days protesting loudly about an aspect of life in Iowa, I whisper to myself, is this how much you have come to love this city? Dear Chris, Shelley, Kate, Julieta, Ikram, Monique, Wendy, Natasha, and Mike. In my books, Rambler's Notebook and Hank's Cities, I wrote dozens of pages about American cities and states, starting with New York, Washington, California, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Vermont, San Francisco, and Seattle. And I would be very happy that Iowa will take its warm place in my next book about travel. Sadly, I lost my phone last night. Yet, in our culture, when you lose something precious somewhere, you are due to be back. So I will see you again, Iowa. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tabish, India and Denmark. I won't give you my impression of America because for that I'll have to think back to my earliest childhood memories. People like me, Anglophone writers, grew up with America, wherever we grew up. And we grew up in a small town, and for better and worse, America was there. So, and the other reason is that I first came to America in person about 16 years ago, and since then I've been here 3 or 4 times. So I'll give you my impression of Iowa City, which is why I sort of got up after Yasin's lovely talk. Well, when I arrived in Iowa City, for a moment, I was worried. And if my flight had not I had not changed flight in Atlanta, I would have thought that my plane had turned around and taken me back to Denmark. Because in some ways, it was very much like Denmark, including the high proportion of blonde people that I saw around me. Okay. Also, the safety, the decency, the quietness, and everything else. Things that I quite admire. I mean, things that I admire and things that I tried to escape, because obviously I grew up in a small town where I grew up in an upper middle class family, house with a garden, and it was very quiet, very calm, very peaceful. And sometime in high school, I realized that I had to get out of that place. Because in order to be a writer, I need to, of course, have the space to write. Virginia Woolf, of course, makes that point about women, a room of your own, but it applies to all writers, a room of your own. So I gave up my room, a room of my own in my parents' place, and since then I haven't had a room of my own. Last few years I've had a shared room, which I shared with my wife, but not a room of my own. So suddenly, once I realized I was in Iowa, I also realized that for once, after something like 30 years, I'm going to get a room of my own, which I did, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to thank IWP. I want to thank everyone involved in it, and particularly I want to thank the fund that got me over, named after Paul Engle and Holling Engle, who sadly passed away. I never got to meet her. So thank you for this opportunity, for giving me a room of my own. But at the same time, after almost 2.5 months here, one part of me is yearning to get back, get out of this safety, this calmness, there's a space that we need as writers in order to write, but there's a space that can also sometimes numb us, because, of course, we live in a world of gross inequalities, gross injustice, and genocidal violence. So in some ways, I'm also looking forward to leaving our city and getting back into the larger world. But thank you for this opportunity.
Hello. I just want to thank the IWP team, Natasha, Julieta, Monique, Kate, Ikran, Mike, and Christopher, even though he's not here. And, well, I believe that sometimes when you are a writer, when you don't know what to say, you just write. So I wrote a silly poem yesterday, taking account my language is Spanish and not in English, and I write the poem in English. So I will read it. Thank you, Iowa, for the river, the leaves, the skies, the maple trees, and its red, green, and yellow. Thank you. And for your libraries and all you can eat books. Thank you mostly for the unexpected, for the friendship I gained here. Thank you for this experience I could not even put name to, because it will take months to decipher the words of what happened here in my mouth. Thank you also for the detachment with my mother tongue, and in a more frivolous way, for your trivia, your game nights, and let us not forget Revival, where I spent my per diem. For the readings, thank you. For the writers I met here, even if they are dead or alive, it doesn't matter. I will carry them home with me. Thank you for a different birthday, for trying to absorb, even if I knew it would be a failure, different cultures, and for the sex of luggage also. Thank you, all of you, for being here with me in this no-name experience. Nothing here in Iowa is ever quite what it seems, and I must admit I am a little bit in love. Thankful today, yesterday, and tomorrow for the unknown.
Hello, everyone. I'm confident to say that my first experience of coming to the United States was for the books, or is for the books. Much appreciation to the IWP and the State Department for the opportunity to participate in this prestigious program and work, as well as meet the amazing people that I met here. My time here has been blissful, minus being homesick. I cannot say enough how at home I have felt as well here. From the staff of the program to the supermarket staff and the hotel, everyone here is really warm and really hospitable. I'm grateful for that. I do have to say, though, that I had to get used to the statement, "What was that?" Because where I come from, that is, we're about to fight. So if I missed what you said, I would probably say, "Excuse me," or, something a little more softer. But what was that has always elicited in me a kind of turning okay, should we get it on? It also got me time to adjust to the optimistic, merry-go-lucky spirit here. Everyone is so happy. The mornings are so good. If someone asks you, "How are you?" You're great. You have to be great. You can't just say, "Maybe today's not a good day." Everybody's just in a good spirit. No one here is just well, like I said. They are fantastic. Mere mortals just go through the day on a sustained okayness, while here in Iowa, everything is spectacular. Speaking of okayness, I have to say that where I'm from, or at least in my experience, when you say something is okay, it's a good thing. Mincing my words is not my forte, but I noticed that responding to the question, "How are you?" or "How you finding time in Iowa?" by "It's okay" is a quick way to solicit concern. So let me clear the air. My time here has been great. I mentioned to Peter while hiking the effigy mounds that this is the first time that I've had to sit with my writing for this much time. In a way, it roused in me a confidence and affirmation I did not have before, but on the other hand, it opened me up to just how much more can still be done, how much more I have to say that I have not particularly said or been clear about. I take back with me this balanced outlook on my career, a confidence and a responsibility to keep the work going. Now, here's a list of things that surprised me in no particular order. The toilet. So much water in the basin, such soul-snatching pressure when flushing. Having to walk over to the crossing or to a crossroad, even where it is safe to just do the usual, look left, look right again, and cross. This is nothing to be proud of, but where I'm from, we operate on what is called African time. I'm from Botswana, by the way. Sorry, my name is Podiso. And I'm like a type A personality person, so I've really been happy to come to a program that's supposed to start at 12, and it starts at 12, and it ends at 1. We keep to this, we keep our word here with time. Love that. And then these are the things that I've cried about while in Iowa. Not having a cat, missing home, experiencing fall in its foliage glory, feeling seen, not being able to find the words I want because I have no safety net of my Setswana, feeling unseen, meeting and connecting with the world one person at a time, everything. I will definitely miss Iowa. I'll definitely miss everyone here. Malibu, thank you.
I still hate this microphone. It's impossible to talk in something so small and so far from your mouth. But I'm happy to see all of you and to be here to have these days. And I write, not to forget proper words. Almost 20 years ago, my friend won a Fulbright and moved to United States. We kept confusing the name of the place she went to. Oklahoma, Ohio. I was sure she had gone to Iowa, but nobody knows exactly. Once she sent me a postcard. She wrote that where she lives now, she hears air raid sirens, warning on approaching tornado. and she hides from it in her bathroom. It was 20 years ago. The first thing I heard when I arrived in Iowa was siren. It seemed that no one but me and my Ukrainian colleague heard it, as if there is a unique language that I can recognize anywhere in the world. Here in Iowa, I had only one language to get along, and it didn't belong to me. I spoke with it, leaving so much of myself on the other side of the borders. But I thought that I could take the risk and try to explain what it is like to be here, while at home in Ukraine, 95 prisoners are returning from Russian captivity, but among them is still no sign of my friend's husband. The Russian hits the first Ukrainian skyscraper built in Kharkiv in the 1920s. Just a day ago, the poet whose poem I concluded my readings with was injured, and now he is in the hospital. And while my family and friends hide in their bathrooms every night from Russian airstrikers. I thought whether a language that doesn't belong to me is enough to explain why I am not afraid to return home, or why my friend's husband in Russian captivity, or the injured Ukrainian poet are not just my personal circumstances, but what concerns every person in the world. When I thought about this, I remembered a poem dedicated to my friend's departure 20 years ago, likely to Iowa, by one Ukrainian poet. The poem ended with the wordplay about the breeze we need to warm the heart, and the heart we need to warm the breeze. So now, reflecting on my distrust of language, I realized I was not alone in this. Dear friends, your accents, your rhythms, your idioms, the most hidden metaphors of your native languages created distance and overcome it at the same time. So like in that old poem, I had you breathe and hearts during these surprisingly short days, which began with the sound of siren. Thank you, guys.
How come? Okay. Hello, I'm Caroline. I'm from Egypt. Before I come here, I have 5 friends, Egyptian writers. They were here, and they are like professors to me, and they are friends. But they are also very serious. So before I come, I used to have a blue hair, a very long blue hair. So I saw all pictures for my friends here. I said, oh my God, they are very serious too, like the Egyptian. So I made my hair in 8 hours. So I asked my sister to help me to release it quickly before I come. It takes 4 hours. So because I want to be serious, but yeah, with blue hairs, bohemian clothes. So I changed even my luggage, changed all my clothes. I prepared it because it's very bohemian. I said, no, you would be more behave as a writer. So I came here, and after 2 weeks, I woke up to find that the American embassy called me at night. So I said, oh, what did I do here? Because the embassy called me. Oh, one joke about the eggplant, because it's very huge in America. I will say it's a joke. But another joke about cucumber. Oh, a lot of jokes about things here in America, because it's huge. If we compare it between here and Egypt, everything here is big. Portions of food is big, plants are big, flowers are big. So I said, I will say like it's innocent jokes. So when they called me, I said, yeah. Before I talk, they said, we like your jokes about US. Could you make more? I said, seriously? These jokes, you like it? He said, yeah, this is experience of Iowa. So give us more. So I started to have this kind of stories and posts about how I see my experience here. I have a plan to write, but as Zakaria, my friend from Thailand, I will steal his words. He said he collects the stars here in his eyes, and he will write when he go back. So I not only collect stars, I collect shells too. I collect people. I have friends from here. My friend Evelyn, she's not here, but I remember her and her house with English tea. She prepared English tea for me. I met 2 Iranian psychiatrists that work here. I met Sudanese. I met a lot of friends. They are not writers, but they live here in Iowa, and they are very involved in the society, and they are very good people. So I would love to say that I wrote, but I wrote very simple things and very short, but I collect a lot of stars from the program and from Iowa, and I have a lot of bad jokes about here, but believe me, the government like it, so I'm safe. And thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Pervin from India. It is very, very special to me to see you all here. And there is so much to say. When I came to Iowa, I didn't quite know what to expect. But within the first week, I knew that this city had its priorities right, because your restaurants shut at 9 o'clock and your libraries shut at 1 in the morning. So I think you're doing something good. I think this is probably the place with the highest concentration of writers per square kilometer. Everyone here is a writer in some way or the other. And that is a very unique, new thing for me. And back home, I don't know how many people know the importance of the IWP program and the significance, but here I saw, so in sometime in the first week, I was missing Indian food, and I went to this food truck at the farmer's market, the Bollywood Grill food truck, and when he asked me where I'm from, and I started talking, I said I'm here as part of the IWP, and he said, then you must be very famous. I said, no, I'm not famous. He said, then you will become very famous. So that is the reputation, and everybody, I mean, the people who work in restaurants know what the IWP does. And, you know, you do get a sense being here that apart from your isolated writing, that you're in the middle of some kind of historical moment. Of course, when we were here, we got news of Han Kang's Nobel Prize win, and then a week later, when we attended the tribute for hauling angles in her memory, you get a sense of how there's this whole tapestry, this trajectory, and we're all woven into it. So that was really special. And I have to talk about the iconic photograph of the entire IWP cohort. And when that was posted on Facebook, my friends asked me, who's the writer you're hugging? And the person I'm hugging is Sabine from Pakistan. And it just happened that way. And back in India, you would not have this relationship with India and Pakistan. So we're doing something really special over here. And I do want to mention that I've been absolutely blown away by, although we're supposed to talk about images of America, I'm getting a sense of so many places, and I'm so moved by writers and friends from all around the world, everybody. But I want to take a minute to just mention particularly some of the women writers that are so brilliant and brave and fascinating. And I remember in the early days, Katerina, who used to work mostly in journalism and nonfiction, telling me that fiction feels like lying a little bit. And I remember Melanie's play with, I mean, the first time I saw something where we have this millennial vibe to literature, which was fascinating. And everybody from Priya, Natalie, Nada, Lisa, Elena, Anna, and yes, Olena, who you heard, we would be having dinner, and these sirens would go off on her phone, and she would just mute the notification and move on. And I told her in the early days that I like what you're wearing, I like your shirt. And she said, oh, I packed it by mistake. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said she was packing with the torchlight because they didn't have electricity, and she packed the wrong shirt. So you know, a kind of opening up of the world in a way that is totally enriching for me. Nurit, who likes cats more than people, but she tolerated us. And I do want to talk about also what Podiso mentioned about the great optimism of America. Over here, when we'd go to restaurants or at the supermarket, and someone would ask, the cashier would ask, how are you doing? And I would say, I'm well, because I could not say I'm good, because somehow I'm well is grammatically correct, and also I'm good felt like I'm praising myself. You know, like, how's the food? It's good. How are you? I'm good. And I was just about getting the hang of I'm good and adjusting to I'm good when one day the cashier said, I'm great. And I immediately thought, you know, like Alexander the Great, like Catherine the Great. So yeah, it's very interesting with all of these, the way language connects and divides. And yes, I want to just end by saying that I'm absolutely grateful that I have all of you in my life now. And I feel like I'm inspired in the most rooted sense of the word. You know, inspire comes from the Latin word, which means to breathe in. And I feel like I'm going to take you back as the breath in my lungs. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Are you listening? Okay. My name is Catarina Gomes. I'm from Portugal. And I'm going to start off by saying, I was telling Kate the other day how IWP makes you feel special, although you're not. I mean, I'm not special. But you make us believe that we are. But you make us believe that people want to hear us read our work. You make us believe that people want to hear my opinion on blurred boundaries. You make us believe that all the students love our work and have a lot of questions to ask. And even the city makes you feel special. Some of you have mentioned this, but I don't know if you've seen Truman Show, the movie. When I came here, I felt I was in a movie set. And we were all actors, but very nice ones, you know. Good morning, and how are you? And have a great day. And no one back home says that. No one. And actually, one of the Anna said, they're so nice, it's tiring. And while I'm feeling special in the IWP, in the city, I feel sometimes like I'm in a Cinderella ball, and it's coming to an end. Midnight is coming, and the spell will end, and I will go back home, where no one will want me here read, no one will want to hear my reading, no one will say good morning and have a great day. But I always think to myself, we will always have Iowa. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Melanie Verde Avilés. I'm from Spain. And I want to share with you, as I was a journalist also, now I'm a playwright, but I used to be a journalist. I want to make a little homage to my journalist background, so I will share with you some data. 32 writers, 1 unity of WhatsApp group, 140 images shared, 90 of them from Yassine's Samsung now missing phone. 4 unities of good gossip, 160 unities of soft, silly gossip, $200 spent in Kindred Coffee, Java House, Poindexter Coffee, and $1,000 spent in Prayer Lights. What can I do? I love those vanilla Danish sweets. $114 item from Crowded Closet carried in one yellow bike. 478 unities of great, 300 unities of amazing, 3 times eating green goddess salad and 0 times eating regular salad. 24 good conversation in the common room, 2,000 eggs sacrificed for breakfast, 5 unity of theater plays watch, 12 actors meet. I have cried 8 times, 1 in public, 1 at the theater, 893 small talk conversations, innumerable new homes around the world, and 1 new certitude. Colleagues, again, we hacked the 9-to-5 work world. We tricked them again. And with 99% certitude, I can say I will be back home and I will wear this 50% acrylic, 50% polyester, $4 hat, and it will contain multitudes. No data can prove it, I will wear it. No data can prove it, but my cells are now different thanks to your language and your love. Thank you, amigas.
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalie Zhang from Taiwan. First of all, I'd like to thank those people who made sweet and lovely jokes about Taiwan during this time. They wanted to let me know that they understand the delicate situation of Taiwan and they did care. People always say that the Americans don't pay attention to what's happening in the rest of the world. But I am very happy to know it's not always true. Besides, I have noticed some Americans perceive themselves less as workers and more as problem solvers. That is very impressive. I think if this is the mindset of the whole society, America would be the hope and an important positive force in the world. I went down the street on Iowa's homecoming day. There was a very little girl who couldn't get any candy because she didn't have a candy bag. So I hid some candies for her in my fist. What surprised me was that she responded with a fist bump when she saw my fist. This is my first fist bump in my life. Maybe it's because I have never been a sports person. Anyway, this image of the little girl's fist represents something like knowing how to make good use of freedom and power. I love it so much, and it would be always in my mind. Thank you, everyone.
Brought a friend, so we're here. Hi. Her name's Belle. When I came here, I was like, I should bring a mascot to distract everybody from the fact that I can't write. So, so she's here. I wrote something because I would take too long if I didn't. Hi, I'm Daryl, a small-time writer and big-time crook from Singapore. Before I begin, I'm one of the instigators of next week's Wednesday reading at Shamba House at 5:30. Somebody remind me that's the correct time. That's the correct time. Okay, 5:30, Shamba House, Anti-Love Poetry. Come join us. Yeah, okay, so when I think of the phrase images of America, I think of this book by a French writer, Michel Boutour, called Mobile. And inside that book, a reader will find things like road signs, narrative sections, a history of a theme park, newspaper articles, a bunch of city names, etc., etc. So aping this book a little, here are some things I remember from the past 2 months. I remember walking and then running in an actually somewhat scary thunderstorm that also delivered hail just to get to a McDonald's with 2 of my buddies. We're all alive, so it's okay. I remember the weather making basically no sense. It's summer one day, it's autumn the next. I remember starved of vegetables one night. Chris and I went to the Sumo Sushi and we ordered the bok choy and we were so overly eager, I think the server was a little freaked out by us. I remember going out in the night and trying and failing to see the aurora lights, but we had a great time down by some cornfields. I remember how all my usual YouTube ads were swapped out for political ads or Hy-Vee commercials. I remember being able to see Patti Smith, Michelle Ndegeocello, Elizabeth Willis, Jennifer Cross, Sawako Nakayasu, all in 2 months, and I was thinking, it's all going to be downhill from here. I remember calling my parents and then realizing they still don't know what I'm doing. I remember not bringing enough books of mine and having to make a fun newspaper version of some of my work. I remember the pizza in the public library every Friday, 12 noon. I remember refusing to buy books because traveling, but buying 5 anyway, and also receiving way too many from fellow writers. You know what they say with friends like these. I remember sitting under a beautiful night sky, right by the fire, shooting the breeze with spectacular poets. I remember trying to convince one of my friends that buying different kinds of apple varieties can be a form of tourism. I remember borrowing 25 books from the library. I haven't read a single one to the full extent. I remember Laundromania. I've been writing a long time, but today's a special day to me. Today is the day that my first book turns 1 year old. For the people who don't hate me, maybe we can go celebrate today, but yeah. Yeah, but to celebrate it in Iowa, I will remember that very well. It's been a wild year, and to be here feels sometimes a little like a dream. So above all, I think the image of America I want to share with you today is made up of all these people that I've met. This, of course, includes the people in the IWP, also brilliant, all wise, all kind. Some of them have become dear friends. Some of them I would even call family. Also people running the show, like Christopher, Kate, and Ikram, and Julieta, and everybody else. I just got an email from Christopher Merrill this morning, or in the middle of the night, where he's in Frankfurt having a transit, so he sends his regards. And even to the people outside of that, from fellow writer colleagues, and to the fantastic folks at Prairie Lights. Special mention to Jenny. And to that 2 people in Kindred Coffee who somehow know my name by this point, and that 1 person who calls me Dan. When I get back, I'm going to legally change my name to Dan. Yeah, so I keep using this word, I realized, in the past few weeks, because I think it most accurately reflects my experience here in Iowa. It is a gift, truly, a gift to know these great writers and artists, these good people, a gift to have your friendship, your trust, and your generosity in my life, a gift to be entrusted with your stories and your confidence, a gift to discover the shapes of love that have been given to me and that I still hope to discover. Thank you for trusting me and believing in me, and I love you all, though some more than others. And as much as this image of America is one of endings, I hope that it will also be one of many, many beginnings. So, thank you. Lola, kamsia, 多謝晒. Dankeschön. Terima kasih. Masalu. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. As always, this room is very memorable, especially for its pizza. I'm not going to say about the image of America because for me, America is so big and I haven't traveled and I hope to come back and to experience America more wholly. But here I'm going to share about some impression in Iowa and the people that I meet. I wrote it here. I'll just read it. Several times, I have had to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming. 14 years ago, I was a college student sitting in front of a laptop, hoping that one day I could be part of international writing program. I thought only great writers could be here. Today, although I'm not great yet, it's no longer a dream. It's my reality. I love being surrounded by writers from all over the world. I'm proud to be among best minds. I'm silently learn a lot from them. I love how writing connects us and how time and space have been made possible for all of us here. I know I won't be the same person as I was before this experience. I can feel growth within myself and in my work. I'm thrilled to share that soon the first draft of my novel will be completed here in Iowa. So I wrote it here. I have so much gratitude for International Writing Program. Thank you to Chris Merrill for this great opportunity. Actually not great, Chris never said great, he said fantastic. Thanks to Shelley who kindly helped us organize everything, to Mac that I have never met yet. Also thanks to Kate, she's so kind. Sometimes she's like a mother for all of us. Special thanks to Julieta, who feels like a caring sister, always there for us in the common room that is famous for scrambled egg. And also my thanks to Brother Ikram, whose warm smile and voice remind me of Amitabh Bachchan. Thank you. And most importantly, thanks to Monique. Every month she brings happiness. I love the smell of this paper that Monique gives us every month. I cannot mention all of you, but thanks so much. It's really an unforgettable experience. This is, again, to quote Chris, fantastic. Thank you.
I'll be quick. I just want to say thank you. It's been an incredible experience. Thank you to the IWP staff who've been incredibly caring, and it's been lovely meeting everyone here. And yes, we met some incredible writers here, but I feel I at least met some incredible people as well. And I also want to thank our housekeeper who took care of our rooms every week, who made it possible for us to just carry on doing other things, not having to worry about, bed sheets. And also the fact that a lot of people that I met, from the housekeeper to the doctor who helped me when I tripped and injured my foot, to the yoga teacher I went to, the meditation teacher I went to, were all soldiers who had served in the army. And this polarity of the US was something that will really stay with me, that somebody can hold a machine gun, but can also hold a pen, and can also be this gentle yoga teacher, this person taking care of your needs. So that is something that has really forced me to think deeply about the fabric of American society. Yeah, I just want to say a very heartfelt thanks, and I hope that we all stay in touch, and I hope that it doesn't end here. So good luck to everyone for their projects, and thank you.
Hi. In the first week, maybe someone remembered that our orientations. I told I just want to hear why I want to regain my love for literature. Yes, but that time, I'm not believe. Is it possible? I'm not believe that time, but yes, I remember one thing during my reading time at Samba House. Yes, that time, actually, I didn't want crying. Maybe many people remember I'm crying. Yes, because in Korea, some people would say to me, "Oh, maybe she wanted to look so sad." So I don't want crying, but anyway, I'm crying that time. So and why? Because recently, when I was writing these novels, the person I interviewed, she died. So that time I remember, so I'm crying. But anyway, I was worried after reading. But all of our writers just hug me, and they say, "Oh, your reading is so nice," and they say, "Oh, yes, it so moved us." So yes, that time I realized, oh, finally. Yes, finally, I lost love of literature back at here. So, yes, I'm so thankful to all of our IWP writers. Yes, and especially I want to thank to U10. He's my highlight in IWP. Yes, and oh yes, and this day I'm reading our all of writers' work. Yes, and okay, I just want to say.
Hi, I'm Yuten. And I didn't expect speech today at all, and I didn't prepare anything. But yeah, and I want to say anyway. I'm so thanks to everyone, and especially for the staff and also the people who support us, and also the so many good writers. And because this program is very important for me as a writer and also as a person, and I met very good people here, and also and especially for me, it's very hard time and very happy time here because. For a while, I want to cut the record, but I have to say I divorced here, and also I decided to I will get married with Han, and this was a top secret for me. And so at first, and I said to several friends here, and especially I expected that friends would spread this gossip to all of them. But this year's writers were too nice. And after 2 weeks later, I realized, oh, nobody knows that secret except for that friends. And then I started to, and then I started to explain on other friends and to share this subject, and nowadays, the people who I cannot say it because I didn't have a chance to meet one by one. But anyway, I was so moved because they keep the secret in their mind. Also, I have a very good opportunity to say to the person in face to face, and they all celebrated us, and they look so happy to celebrate us, and every time I feel so happy and from their face and their mind. And so I was thinking this year writers are so nice, and the people supported us are so nice, and I'm so thoughtful, and I'm so thanks and appreciate to everyone. Thank you very much. And especially for Han, thank you for everything.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zakaria from Thailand. First, when the plane landing to Minneapolis, I'm looking to the ground. That America is very big, very giant country. And this is the second time for me to America, but for the mainland it's the first time. I visited Hawaii before, and I'm feeling like this. When I see the white plane of America, very big, very wide, I'm thinking in my mind with the another glass, maybe with the dark glass, why America still send a mission, send a troop, send a soldier to another country? Because you have very big country, very big land. You're not enough. So I'm reminded to the poetry of Allen Ginsberg. I think you can find in internet about America. I think this still will use with America. So when in the Chicago, I'm feeling something that to describe America, I have two words only. I love you, and I hate you, America. I love you because you are support art, culture, and literature. And you are the big industry for book, publishing book, and translation a book. And benefit from this very long time ago. And why I hate America? That I see because you still send a mission to the military troop to the another country. Until my poem in my first book about the sniper, I think I will read in next Wednesday. This is inspired because when Colin Powell is a general, they put a bomb in Baghdad, I think. Shock and awe, something mission like that. So when I watching the TV about the news, so I'm like a children crying. So I compose my poetry in the character of the small children, in small girl in the Iraq, what happened. So I think, yes, I have to my glass with the glow one and with the dark one to America. And yeah, the first day when I come here, I always lost in the street. The first time, they have a Friday here, the library, but I going to the main library. And I always lost in the city, but when I am starting, remember the street, the place, but I'm in the last week of this program. So I'm a little bit sad, but I lost two things. The big one is my glass reading here. 2 weeks when I become here, I lost it. And after that, 2 weeks ago, I lost my computer notebook. It's broken here, and I cannot repair anything, and something in there, but I don't lose my friend. Thank you very much.
This is my first time to speak. The word, hello everyone. The word is always saying goodbye. Our bodies say goodbye to our souls. Loved ones say goodbye to each other. Earth says goodbye to the moon. The solar system says goodbye to the Milky Way. From a physics perspective, everything is moving far away apart. But there is something we can't ignore. After all these goodbyes, a wild kind of connection called quantum entanglement also comes to life. So, no matter where we are, we can still feel each other's love and longing. I want to tell you that I love each of you. Whenever you come to Tianjin of China, I will be there waiting for you. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa from Trinidad and Tobago, and I came here, and I don't know what I expected, but it has been nothing like I expected. Even the first week I was here, what I hoped for and expected did not happen. I got dreadfully ill, and the quick care was, wow. But Iowa nice. Iowa nice. And the IWP staff, the hotel staff. Why y'all make me come and talk here? The people who live on the Ped Mall. All of you writers. Iowa City is an extraordinary place. I have never been anywhere in my life where writers are celebrities like this. I mean, never. There are statues of writers and, you know, poems on the street, even under your feet. It's incredible. It's, yes, fantastic, even. And I have not been okay in any sense of the word for a lot of the time, because I was either ill for, you know, the last couple of weeks. One of my brothers passed away in Trinidad, and I've been grieving. But I've had so much support, both from people within the program, yeah, okay. It's been fantastic. And I will carry Iowa City with me, yeah, forever. The work I've made here, I've never written anything like this. I mean, never, ever in my life have I written anything like this. And I don't know if it was just the strangeness of being, in a way, kind of isolated, self-isolated, as Peter would say. But it's been amazing. And one day I really look forward to saying thank you to the IWP in the acknowledgements of one of my books. And I really look forward to that day. And thank you to the IWP, to the US Embassy, to the in Trinidad and Tobago, to the State Department, and to all of you writers, and yeah, even the people who live on the Ped Mall. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elena from El Salvador. I cry in every reading, so so I want to say, Lisa, that crying in public is brave, and I believe in that. And I wrote something, but I don't know if we have enough time. I won't cry this time, but I don't know if I can I read a poem, but it's in Spanish. May I have, okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody, the staff who are our friends, of course, our fellows, our friends. I want to thank people who speak Spanish with me or people who learn to speak Spanish with me. That is very significant for me. And when I came, I was really under stress. I'm still under stress, but at the beginning, it was so stressful for me, but I found a keyword. And the keyword was IWP. So if I get lost and I was asking for an address, I said, I'm sorry, I'm from IWP. And everybody was, oh my God, oh, nice to meet you, come on, I will take you and everything. And in the restaurants, oh, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce very well, I'm from IWP. Oh, don't worry, it's okay, what do you want? And it was fun, but it is like unreal, because in Latin America, we writers, yes, sometimes we are famous, but we don't care. People don't care about us, and the state don't care about us. And I know I used to think that I live in another space, and here in Iowa is like a spell in a children's book. Like Katerina said, we are next to 12 o'clock, and it will finish. And also to honor America, you know, America is a continent also. It's not only a country, it's a continent. I come from America, Central America, and Latin America, and Caribbean. All these places are America. And I want to read a Spanish little reading to honor William Carlos Williams, because he is an American writer. And I see people crying, I don't know why. But he's an American writer. He was a physician, and he also speaks Spanish at home, because her mother and her father were raised in the Caribbean, and he rather to speak Spanish. And sometimes I used to tell to the staff, I cry a lot because I have a tumor in my ovaries, and I'm taking pills, so if I cry, sometimes I'm feeling something, and sometimes I'm not feeling anything. And I suppose, so I feel like a tree. I'm here, we were laughing because I don't feel anything. I am here, everything is beautiful, but my body is an answer to everything that I'm feeling. So I have this lucid dream about William Carlos Williams healing me, because he was, as I say, physician, and he also attend, I don't know how to, when a woman gave birth, and he also attend babies who are for the first time in the world. And I will read it in Spanish, and it's like a spell for me, because I want to heal. And after that, I will say one sentence in English. Cierro los ojos, tendida boca arriba en un campo dorado. No sé si son flores o pasto seco. William Carlos Williams viene hacia mí, camina en la espesura con su sombrero ladeado. Y aunque tengo los ojos cerrados, lo veo llegar a mí, detenerse frente a mi cuerpo. William Carlos Williams es médico. William Carlos Williams atiende partos. William Carlos Williams me arranca los ovarios. Mete sus manos de joven, mete sus manos de anciano en mi cuerpo y arranca mis ovarios. No son más que una guinda de curcubitáceas, cundeamor, momórdica, balsam apple. Esos frutos que vi una vez que parecen marchitos, aturrados, sun-dried, frutos que más bien parecen hojas de otoño, frutos tostados como el papel de un libro antiguo. William Carlos Williams me arranca los ovarios y los destripa con la mano. Por dentro, mis ovarios son naranjas brillantes. La pulpa es suave, de terciopelo, y está cundida de frutos rojos, carnosos, acuosos, frutos dentro de frutos. William Carlos Williams lleva mis ovarios a su boca y los come. Yo veo como un jugo transparente y pegajoso escurre por las comisuras de sus labios. Cuida de mis frutos, William Carlos Williams. Cuida de mis ovarios, cuida de mis niños. Thank you. And in English, it means that when I come back from Iowa to Mexico City, I will hear, and I will be very thankful. I'm really thankful, and I want to thank all of you, but especially people who learn to speak Spanish, and and Ikram for my tissue boxes, because I cry in every reading. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. As we all have noticed, that this mic encourages us to be brief. I was thinking when I came to this library for the first time, and I asked somebody where the restroom is, and they said, "Good question." So, so yeah, it's all good. And I just want to say that it's more than writing, it's more than diplomacy, it's love, it's friendship, it's all about those common solutions that we have found after the years of, the struggle of years and centuries that make this world better. And yeah, I am very thankful and I'm very, honored to have you in my life, to know all of you, and yeah, I am very happy for you both, and I'm gonna end this session on a little song in Hindi, Urdu. Not a singer, but I don't shy when it comes to singing, so I'll just sing for probably a few seconds, and it's especially for both of you, एक दिन आप यूं हमको मिल जाएंगे, फूल ही फूल राहों में खिल जाएंगे, मैंने सोचा न था एक दिन जिंदगी इतनी होगी हंसी, झूमेगा आसमां गाएगी ये ज़मीं, मैंने सोचा न था. Thank you so much.